Imagine this. You are standing in a modern bathroom, soft light, white walls, a clean roll of toilet paper hanging beside you. It looks normal, boring even. But for most of human history, people handled this part of life in ways that would shock you. And that ordinary roll beside your hand? It hides a secret history of comfort, shame, trade, disease, advertising, and power. In this video, we are going to follow one simple object across time. From leaves and stones to luxury paper. From royal courts to factory machines. From private bathrooms to empty supermarket shelves. Because toilet paper is not just paper. It tells us how people thought about the body. It shows when privacy became important. It reveals what clean really meant in different ages. And near the end, there is a surprise. The future of toilet paper may not look like toilet paper at all. Chapter 1. Origin. Let us go back to the beginning. Long before stores, long before brands, long before anyone bought a pack of 12 rolls and placed it under the sink. People still had the same human need, but they solved it with whatever was around them. That is the first shocking fact. For most of history, people did not use toilet paper at all. They used leaves, grass, corn cobs, wool, sand, water, clay, old cloth, even smooth stones. Yes, stones. Pause there for a second. A smooth stone may sound impossible to us now, but in many places, people chose tools based on climate, class, and local habit. In some ancient Roman public toilets, a shared sponge on a stick was used. It was placed in salt water or vinegar between uses. Shared. Read that again in your mind. A sponge on a stick. Shared by many people. That is not just a strange image from the past. It tells us something important. Privacy was different. Hygiene was different. Even the idea of what felt normal was different. Now picture an old Roman latrine, cold stone seats, a row of holes, people sitting side by side talking, no locked door, no soft music, no quiet moment alone. The bathroom was not always private. Sometimes it was social, and that changes how we understand toilet paper. It was not only about cleaning, it was also about a new kind of personal space. Here is the first mini-story. Imagine a farmer many centuries ago on a freezing morning. He walks behind his house to a simple outdoor toilet. There is no paper roll, no plumbing, no warm light. He reaches for dried leaves stored in a basket, but rain has made them wet and weak. So he uses straw instead, rough, hard, fast. Then he returns to work, because this is normal life. No drama for him, but for us, it feels brutal. That is the point. Comfort is historical. What feels basic today was once luxury. And while many cultures used natural materials, one major change appeared in China. Written records suggest that paper for toilet use was known there many centuries ago, especially among wealthy people and in imperial courts. Not everyone had it, but the idea existed. Paper was soft, light, and disposable. It fit a growing culture of refinement. A new solution had entered history. Still, it would take a very long time before toilet paper became common for ordinary people. And when that moment came, it changed daily life more than most people noticed. Chapter 2. The Rise. Now the story moves from survival to industry. For a long time, even in Europe and America, people did not buy special paper for the toilet. They used what they already had: newspapers, catalog pages, scrap paper, old letters, anything within reach. In many homes, a nail was placed on the wall of the outhouse, and newspapers hung from it. Think about that image. The news of the world, yesterday's politics, yesterday's ads, yesterday's scandals, becoming bathroom paper the next day. Then the modern age arrived. Cities grew, printing grew, factories grew, and daily life became more organized, more packaged, more commercial. That is when one company saw something others did not. Not just a human need, a market. Here is the second mini-story. In the 19th century, an American businessman named Joseph Gaiety introduced one of the first marketed toilet papers in the United States. He sold flat sheets, not rolls, and even printed his own name on them. Imagine the confidence. You are not just selling paper. You are telling people to pay money for something they once got almost for free from old newspapers. That was not easy. In fact, it was hard to even talk about this product in public. The subject was embarrassing. Many people did not want to say the words. So the sale was about more than paper. It was about changing behavior, changing shame, changing habit. Later, companies improved the product. Roles became more common. Factories cut costs. Advertising became smarter. Brands connected toilet paper to health, comfort, and family respectability. That word, respectability, means being seen as proper and decent. And that mattered, because the bathroom was slowly moving inside the house. Not outside, not shared with the weather, inside. With indoor plumbing came a new dream of modern life, a clean, private bathroom, managed by the household, hidden from public eyes. Toilet paper fit perfectly into that dream. Stop for a moment. A roll of paper was becoming a symbol. Softness meant care, whiteness meant purity, packaging meant trust, and brands understood that very well. By the early 20th century, toilet paper was no longer a strange extra. It was becoming a regular household item. Then companies made another clever move. They improved the story. Not only this works, but this is gentle. Not only this is useful, but this is what a modern family should have. That is how ordinary objects become essential, not by force, by repetition, by comfort, by quiet persuasion. And once people adjusted to softness, they did not want to go back. That is how dependency begins, not with weakness, with convenience. Chapter 3. The dark turn. Now the story gets darker. Because mass production always has a price. When toilet paper became popular, demand exploded. Millions of people, then tens of millions, then hundreds of millions. Every day, every home, every bathroom. That much paper requires trees, water, energy, transport, bleach, packaging, and waste systems. Suddenly, something soft and harmless had become part of a giant industrial machine. And there was another problem. Advertising created pressure. People were taught to fear being unclean. They were taught to avoid discomfort at all cost. They were sold not just a product, but an anxiety. That word means a quiet fear living in the mind. The message was simple. Good people are clean people, and clean people buy the right paper. This changed how people saw the body. Bodies became private projects to manage. Clean, smell-free, hidden, controlled. What had once been ordinary and open became silent and sensitive. Why did softness become a moral idea? That question matters. Because toilet paper sits at the center of a strange modern promise. You can remove every trace of your body and still feel untouched by nature. But reality is messier. Factories polluted rivers. Forests were cut. Marketing encouraged endless consumption. More layers, more softness, more whitening, more luxury. Some brands even sold comfort like a dream world. Clouds, kittens, plush textures, smiling families. It all looked innocent. But behind the image stood wood pulp, machines, chemicals, and supply chains stretching across continents. And then there was class. Some people could buy soft multiply paper. Ply simply means layers. Others used cheaper, rougher versions. Even here, the bathroom reflected inequality. One more thing. In times of war, crisis, or shortage, toilet paper became surprisingly emotional. People who could accept less sugar or less coffee still panicked when toilet paper disappeared. Why? Because it touched the body so directly. Because once a society builds comfort into routine, losing it feels like losing dignity itself. That fear would erupt in a dramatic way many years later. But first, the world had to change again. Chapter 4. The world changes. The world entered the age of speed. Supermarkets, global shipping, plastic wrapping, mega brands. Softness became science. Manufacturers studied texture, strength, absorbency, and skin comfort. Toilet paper was no longer just paper. It was engineering. At the same time, different regions of the world kept different habits. In many countries, water remained central to personal cleaning. Bidets, hoses, washing systems, and other tools stayed common. So here is the big question. Was toilet paper really the best solution, or just the most successful one? That question opens the whole story. Because what we call normal is often just what our system mass-produced best. Then came the third mini-story. A modern supermarket. Bright lights, metal carts, long shelves. At first, everything seems normal. Then a rumor spreads. A crisis is coming. People grow nervous. One shopper grabs 2 big packs of toilet paper. Another sees it and grabs 4. Another takes the whole stack. Within hours, the aisle is almost empty. Families arrive and stare at blank shelves where white packages should be. Phones come out. Photos are taken. People laugh, but the laughter is thin. Under it sits a real fear. Not fear of hunger, not fear of thirst, fear of not having toilet paper. That scene happened in many places during modern panic-buying waves, especially during the COVID-19 period. It was one of the strangest images of our time. Not gold, not fuel, not medicine first, toilet paper. That scene revealed something simple and brutal. Dependence hides inside routine. We notice it only when the shelf is empty. Pattern interrupt. The roll was never just a roll. It was trust in the system. Trust that trucks would arrive, trust that factories would run, trust that stores would stay full. And when that trust cracked, people saw the object differently. Suddenly, toilet paper looked fragile, ridiculous, powerful, even symbolic, a tiny white tower of modern life. Then conversations changed. People asked about sustainability, about bamboo paper, about recycled fiber, about bidets and washing systems, about whether the softest choice was also the smartest choice. The bathroom, once quiet and ignored, became part of a bigger debate about ecology, habit, and the future. And now we arrive at the twist. The story is no longer only about paper. It is about what comes after paper. Chapter 5. Today's surprise. Today, toilet paper still feels ordinary. But look closer. In some homes, it is becoming less central. Bidets are growing in popularity. Washlets use water, heat, and air. Eco-brands promise less damage to forests. Designers rethink packaging. Some people even see toilet paper as an outdated technology. That is today's surprise. The normal bathroom is changing again. And maybe the future will look strange to us, just as the past does. Pattern interrupt. History is hiding in your bathroom. This is why the story matters. Toilet paper connects huge ideas to a very private act. Nature and industry. Shame and comfort. Body and identity. Habit and panic. It also reminds us that civilization is built from small, repeated actions. Not only kings, wars, and inventions, also wiping, washing, storing, buying, and trusting. And maybe that is why this object feels so powerful. It enters life quietly. It stays in the background. But once you begin to see it, you cannot unsee it. A roll of toilet paper tells the story of the modern human. Cleaner, softer, more private, more dependent, and not always wiser. Pattern interrupt. The softest objects can reveal the hardest truths. So next time you sit in a bathroom and reach to the side without thinking, stop for 1 second. What are you really touching? Paper, yes. But also centuries of invention, centuries of discomfort, centuries of changing ideas about what a body should be. Pattern interrupt. Nothing becomes basic by accident. And perhaps the strangest part of all is this. One day, future generations may look at our white rolls the way we look at Roman sponges and baskets of leaves. With curiosity, with disbelief, maybe even with horror. That is how fast normal can change. Ending. So that is the secret history of toilet paper. A story that begins with leaves, sticks, cloth, and stones, moves through empire, industry, and advertising, turns dark with mass production and environmental cost, and ends with a modern world suddenly realizing how dependent it has become on one soft roll of paper. Toilet paper seems small, but it reflects everything modern life wants to hide and control: the body, dirt, shame, comfort, privacy, and the quiet systems that make daily life feel easy. Pattern interrupt. The bathroom is never just the bathroom. So now I want to ask you, what everyday object should we uncover next? Option A, the secret history of the razor. Or option B, the secret history of nail clippers. Choose your next story.